What's going on YouTube? This is Jabber Tech. You got yourself a nice Garmin device here and you want to just change up those watch faces. Well, I'm doing another installment of my favorite watch faces to kind of showcase some that you might have missed if you're just trolling through the Garmin IQ store. So let's get into this review and check out some of my favorite digital watch faces. Let's start off with Sky Tracker. Now I'll leave the links to all of these watch faces in my description so it's easy for you guys to find. But this is a freemium model and it's $1.99 if you want some more of the advanced features, if you want to change up some of the colors or get some different metrics. But why I like this watch face, it's a very clean, big watch face. Now when you're just walking out in the town, when you're walking around and you're not really doing anything, you're just at the office or you're just at home watching football, you just want to be able to tell the time quickly, you just want to be able to see what your steps are, maybe your heart rate. If your team is not doing so well, your heart rate might spike, and this is a good way to tell if it is. But it's just a nice big face watch face, and it's just overall a very clean watch face. Starting at the top, you have your weather. We all like to see the weather, and then underneath it, it gives you a little description of the actual weather. I'll show you some of the changes you can do in the paid model. Underneath that is where you get the big time, and I just like being able to tell the time at a glance without really having to search through a bunch of metrics, a bunch of data fields. So that's why I like this one. And underneath you can change this, and this is a dynamic notification panel on the bottom, so it will change. I have it set up to show me my steps, my floor count, and my message count. But if I raise my wrist, it's going to automatically change and show me some different data fields. And those data fields that I've chosen is also my heart rate. I also show my steps right over there, but then I also have the altitude. So let me just show you some of the options that you can do. And again, it's a very nice watch face, a very clean looking watch face. You can even change the font selection. So if you like the Garmin font, rather than this rounded font, which I actually think the rounded font is pretty nice, you can change that up. And here are all your paid options, so you do have some themes if you don't want to do it yourself. You can kind of change it, so I'm going to change it there to the orange, but you can change the colors of the hours, the minutes. You can change those data fields to just about anything listed here, and that's a dynamic data field, so it'll change when you raise your wrist. If you don't really want to have that data cycling, you can turn that off. And then underneath the weather here, if you don't really want a little description of what the weather is, you can also just have your date. You can show nothing, or you can put the city name. So I'm going to put the city name and save it. So now changing it up, this is the orange theme, and you can see that instead of the little description of the weather, I get my location. I can recommend this watch face if you want to just overall clean, simple looking watch face. Sky Tracker is for you. The next one that we're going to take a look at, believe it or not, comes from Garmin, and they're actually doing a really good job these days in giving us some modern designs and giving us some clean looking designs, something that they really didn't give us in the past. But this one again is called Trainer, and it's a very nice big face watch face as well. You can easily tell the time as well as all the other data fields, and basically all of these data fields are customizable. So that's why I like this watch face. You can really customize it and change it up and just kind of make this watch face your own, and that's what it's all about with these watch faces, making it your own. Top, you have your calories burned. Right next to it is where you'll see your heart rate. You have your date, and then you have your time in a big face right over there. Underneath it is where you'll see your 7-day distance. I really haven't done much this week. I feel a little ashamed about that, but you'll see your overall distance for the entire week. Underneath, you'll also see your intensity minutes. Right on the right side is where you have your altimeter. Underneath that is your move bar. And then on the left side, you'll see your barometer as well as your battery indicator. And again, it's just a really clean, very nice looking watch face made from Garmin. So thumbs up to Garmin for giving us something modern. And just showing you here, you can really customize this watch face. So you have different color options you can choose from. You can preload some of those colors. And then underneath it is where you have all your custom data information. So if you click on one, these are all the different metrics you can use. This is usually my configuration, but again, you can change it to suit your needs. I like to see my big step counter, and then I also like to see my floor count. But I think this is an overall nice looking design from Garmin, so thumbs up to them once again. The next one that we're going to take a look at is SHN Tactical, and this is a freemium model. So to get some pro features, you will have to make a small donation. Buy the dude a coffee or even a beer, he'd probably like that better. And then you can get the pro code sent to you. But this one is a very cool looking watch face, again with the theme of the big time right in the center, and you can change up the fonts of this. But if you take a look at it, there's so much information here. At the top is your status bar, so you can see everything about the watch and your phone, your connection status, if you have an alarm or if your watch is on silent. Right underneath that is that big beautiful time right in the center of the watch face, and you can change up these colors. You can also change up the font. Right next to the timers, we get a whole bunch of weather information, and we all love weather. So you get to see the humidity level, you get to see your high and low temperature, as well as the barometric pressure. Gives you a lot of information about the weather, pretty much everything that you'd want to know just to get ready for race time. Underneath it is where you have your date, Friday the 13th of September. You get your ISO week number, and then you get the year right over there. Now when the watch face comes to life, this is where you get a lot more information, and you can see that seconds ring just going around, and that is super, super cool. You also have the seconds here by the time, and you can disable this, so you can disable the ring, you can disable both. Really, whatever form of seconds you want to show, or maybe you don't, you can do whatever you want to do. Over here is where you can change some things up. I have a little graph about my heart rate, and you can see when your highest heart rate was, what your lowest heart rate was, and then it'll also show you what your current heart rate is right on the bottom right over there. Right underneath the heart rate there, you can see a whole bunch of information cycling through. You can see your steps in relation to your step goal and the percentage of you completing that goal. And then you'll also see some more graphs, and that's in relation to your steps, your calories burned, your floor count, and then your active minutes right on the bottom. Those 4 graphs right over there. So I think it's really cool. At a glance, you can see my active minutes. I just haven't reached my goal as of yet. Hopefully I will get there before that time is up. And then finally, you will see your battery level, as well as if you have any messages waiting for you. So again, SHN Tactical I think is a super cool watch face. Now if you go into the settings, you have a lot of options you can choose from. You can change that background color. You also can change from military time. I know a lot of people don't like military time, so you can change that up. You can change really everything, and I did mention there's different fonts. Let me just show you another font here. You can change that up. You can also change the hour, the minute color. If you want the seconds or you don't want the seconds, you can change that up as well. You can also change the text color. You can change the day color, dual time color if you have that enabled. You can change and you can add some data right above the time if you want to. You can set up an event if you need to as well. The bigger data, that's your graph on the bottom that I have set up for my heart rate. You can change that, so I'm going to switch it up to fitness data and just show you what that looks like. This will show you just about how far you are to reaching your goals for the day. So again, change it up, make it your own. That's what watch faces are all about. The next one we're going to take a look at is called SC1. It is a little busy. It's definitely busier than the other ones, but I like it. You cannot customize a lot of it, but still it gives you a lot of information, and it's just a funky looking design. Let me know what you think about this one down in the comments below. Taking a look at the top of the watch face, you have your step counter right over there at the 12 o'clock position, along with a histograph to show you how many times you actually hit your step goal. You also have your completion percentage right at the top. Underneath is we have an event countdown, and you can change that. So I put Jabber. If you have a race coming up or whatever the case may be, you can set a little countdown to remind yourself of how much you need to train, how much time you have left to train. So that's really cool there. You can just change the name up and put it how you want. You also have your moon phase, you have your date right over here, and then you have your time with the seconds right in the middle of the watch face. Underneath is where you have your temperature with the high, low, and a little graphic as well. On the right side is where you have your heart rate right over here. Underneath it is where you have a little dual time action, so I have it set up for time in Europe. You can see how many messages you have left, and it'll also show you what city you're in with the sunrise and sunset time. And if you notice something really cool about this watch face, not only do you have your digital time right in the middle, but you also have analog indicators as well to let you know what the time is. Again, a really nice looking watch face. Let me know what you think about this one. Taking a look at the settings, there's really not that much we can change in the settings. This is where you'll change that event name. Then you have your event date, so you can kind of change that up if you want to. And really, the only options that you have that are changeable, you can choose from a ton of different color schemes. So you can really find one that suits your color, suits your band, whatever the case may be. Again, this one is called SC1. I really appreciate you guys watching. Let me know which watch face is your favorite down in the comments below. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.